Hello, hello. This is Nikki from My Healthy Beginning, and we're going to have a little tech talk today. And not a witty person, so here's something that you should know. My 12-year-old is big into these TikTok, dance videos, and every day I come in the house. Actually, I can't even have a conversation with her without her like doing a little thing. So it was super funny at a meeting with our manager. I was like, "Oh, I'm going to do a TikTok," and then I had to laugh out loud because I was the only one who got the joke. So this isn't a dancing TikTok. This is actually a talk about critters. It's going to be brief. And this is the time of year. I mean, we're in the busy months, if you will, of a lot of what most of us think of as kind of tick-borne, like the ticks. We're looking for tick bites. We're pulling ticks off of us. But I've been doing a lot of work with the Cellcore Biosciences company for about the last year and a half, and they continue to blow my mind in many, many ways. And we see a lot of Lyme cases and Lyme and its co-infections. In here, people come, they are complex cases. It's a chronic, illness. People deal with it ongoingly. And we're able to get those things really alleviated here with the work that we do. And it is very exciting. But I wanted to share with you three things. Primarily, we're just going to talk briefly about how to safely and properly remove ticks. Again, this is non-medical advice. Anybody can remove a tick anywhere at any time. This is what I've learned from the doctors at Cellcore, straight up, Dr. Todd Watson, Dr. Jay Davidson, Jay Davidson primarily, for this particular topic. And so first of all, when we think about a tick-borne illness, we literally think of like the dog ticks and the wood ticks and the deer ticks, right? But really, tick-borne illnesses are really any little critter, any insect, any bug that can bite and then leave a deposit in our body or in our bloodstream. So this is spiders, this is mosquitoes, this includes ticks. Okay, so kind of like mind blowing in the world of we just think it's ticks, but how many times are we and our kids munched by a mosquito party and we're red and swollen and puffy and itchy and whatnot. And you'll notice that some of us are more prone to those bites than others. Our girls they just get gnawed on when we are in the woods, and I get a bite or two, and the little guy gets a bite or two, and my husband doesn't really get bothered by the bites. So I just think that's kind of interesting too. Now, how to safely remove a tick. And of course, I forgot my little tick remover. It's in my other bag at home, sorry. But what we're gonna do, I'll have Elaine put a link to Amazon, and we don't have an affiliate we don't have an affiliate relationship with Amazon. So we're just going to include that link. You might be able to find them somewhere else. I haven't looked somewhere else. But for $4.99, you can get this little, it is tiny, it's this little bag with 3 little tick removers in them. They look like mini hockey pucks with a little kind of split at the end, like the opposite end of a hammer. And that's going to be kind of the end that you'll use for the tick. I'll explain how to do that in a minute. And then it also comes with this great little tick identification card. So far, the ticks that we've had to remove this summer, and one was on Odin, and he had been there for a bit, and one was on my husband. Both of them were easy to use with this tick remover kit. We didn't have a problem with it, and both, by the identification card, looked like they were just dog ticks. But we grew up with you just yank that sucker off of there, right? You grab tweezers, you yank it off, you put an essential oil on there, or you cover it with rubbing alcohol. And here's what I've learned and discovered. When we do that, even if it's an essential oil, it causes stress to the tick. The tick has I want to say its mouth has this little kind of a spear, if you will, that has it's barbed. And that is what goes into the body for the bite. That's kind of the vessel for filling itself, if you will. And if we just go and yank on that tick, we can separate the body from the head or the head from the mouth, leaving that, we don't feel it like, oh, there's something stuck in my skin necessarily. But what happens inside of that stress of yanking or pulling the tick is it causes the tick to vomit into our bloodstream. And that is what causes, more of these kind of co-infections and issues as it vomits these parasites, bacteria, funguses into our system. So that can be prevented, right? Which is pretty amazing. So the tick may have already bitten you, but you can kind of prevent more trauma, if you will, to the body in how you remove that tick. So I'll try to kind of use my fingers. This is kind of an unfair example without having it with me. Like I said, they're very small. There are 3 of them, but they're all just, you know, maybe 4 inches long or so. And you come to the tick, like I'm just going to use my ring as an example. You can't really see, but you come onto the tick on the sides of the tick like that, and you apply a little pressure down toward the skin. So you apply a little pressure on either side of the tick, and then you just gently turn this little tool. And what happens is it has those barbs kind of pull back out of the tick, and the tick just comes right off all in one piece. It's like so small, it's like such a little tip, but it's so great to know that we can actually get these guys all out in one piece. Now, if you wanted to take that tick and send it in for testing, you know, that's on you. I think actually on the little tick remover card, there might be, you know, like, I don't know what the website was. There was something on there if you actually wanted to go about mailing that in somewhere to have the tick checked. But that's very easy. It's very easy to remove. So I think I bought 4 of those little tick remover kit packages, each for one of, you know, my husband's truck and my car. Then I keep a separate one in my purse, and then we just have another one at home. You know, so far ticks have been on my husband's arms and legs. He's kind of a furry guy, and so that's where they were landing on him. And then in Odin, there was one kind of behind his ear. Odin's got really long, thick hair, and we had been swimming in the lake in Ely for hours and found the tick after we were swimming. So he had been there for a while. There was no red mark, there was no rash, no bullseye. That's kind of another thing, is not everybody experiences that, or even a rash or bullseye or mark in that area. You can see things show up in other areas of the body, or not see anything at all and then not be feeling so great minutes, hours, days, weeks, months later. So that's one piece. Okay, so tick-borne is more than just ticks. How to remove the ticks, very easy. Elaine will put the link down below. And then what to do if you just pulled something off of the body, or even if you have just a really gnarly, you know, set of mosquito bites, or one particular bite that's really driving you crazy. Cellcore Biosciences has a great number of products. And Elaine, maybe you could also include the ordering link, or maybe if people are wanting the ordering link from us, we can direct message that to them, or you could include it right under into the comments. Doesn't matter to me. But this allows you to order from the Cellcore Biosciences site. So 2 things that I think are probably the most important. They have so many great products that really just can support all, you know, Lyme, fungus, mold, parasites, radioactive elements, metals, and I just really have found a company that really handles all of it. They haven't tapped so much into the viral aspect yet. I mean, you can really support the body, but viruses not quite yet. That's coming around the bend. Yeah, thank you for posting that, Elaine. And actually, if you would post that right to the Facebook comments, if you can do that from where you are too, I think that would be helpful for people to just be able to click right through. So having it here in the chat, but then also, yeah, thank you. Okay, so 2 products that I think are super helpful. One is called IS-Borr, B-O-R-R, stands for Borrelia burgdorferi, which is the Lyme bacteria. IS-Borr, it means immune system. So it's really going to support the immune system. So with the muscle testing we do here in the office, I can say have a Lyme vial or a Bartonella or a Babesia vial and check on the body. And if that lock muscle goes weak, we know that you're reacting to that particular vial or bacteria. And if you are sitting under a tree, I mean, this might push what you guys believe and know out there, but if you are sitting under a tree and that tree has ticks, or the grass has ticks, or they're on the tree behind you, and you don't know it, and you just go out to eat your lunch and you come in and you are not well, you are not feeling well, that gives you an idea of how, let's call it like your space bubble or your little energy circle, how easily it can be affected by being in the area of those bacteria, okay? One of the things we'll do here in the office is I'll have somebody sit on the side of the table if they have tested active for any of these vials. And maybe this is something we should actually do on a Facebook Live someday, because it's kind of fun and interesting. So say they have a locked muscle, we bring the vial on, say to the heart, for example, and they unlock, and I start moving that vial slowly away from their body, and they still unlock. sometimes what we'll do is bring in other staff members and we'll lock hands, and I'll hand that vial off to a staff member. So I'm now a wingspan away from that client, and they still haven't unlocked. So say now I'm 4 feet away from them. So that bacteria is still 4 feet away from them, and they're still reacting weakly to that. So IS-4, immune system bore, will help to support that immune system, so we can start to bring that vial closer and closer and closer. With that IS bore vial also in our hand, that body's going to be a lot stronger, a lot sooner, a lot faster in the face of that bacteria. So IS bore you can take orally. It's a great mix of immune system supporting herbs. You can also apply it directly to the area of the bite, or you're like, I don't see a bite, but I do have a rash. You could go ahead and apply it to the rash. May or may not sting. I mean, we haven't had any stinging responses yet as we've been using it. And the other thing that you could take then would be biotoxin binder to help start to bind that bacteria. And I mean, just as a general recommendation, you could probably take both of those orally for just say 2 to 3 weeks, just if you're wondering and you're not even feeling poorly, just to kind of give your body that little bit of boost and grab some things and get it moving out through the bowels. But really anything above and beyond that, if you have specific curiosity about your individual situation, I would seek out, you could actually reach out to Cellcore Biosciences and just ask for any one of us practitioners that work with them, as we all continue to learn ongoingly from their fabulous and excellent training. But then also you could look up any of the advanced clinically trained nutrition response practitioners in your area. Here in Minnesota, we have a good handful of them. So within ARMS 3, you've got somebody in your area in this neck of the woods that can walk you through many of these tick-borne, bug-borne issues and illnesses that people are dealing with. Okay, so that wraps that up. Thank you, Elaine, for posting those things below for everybody. Welcome your questions, comments, or concerns as usual. If you are looking for optimal health, we can certainly help you get there. You can give us a call here, 612-418-3801. We do a complimentary next step session, which is just a phone visit to just get in the world of what you are dealing with. And remember, if you are coming in on referral from someone who's already here, you do get a 50% off friends and family discount for that initial visit. So I hope this was valuable information for you. Thanks so much for joining us today. Bye.